All right, gonna say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's have the approval of the agenda for August 9th.
I move that the board approve the August 9th, 2021 agenda.
Second.
Mr. President, on the consent agenda, I would ask that the 12.15 donations be taken off and voted separately because of conflict of interest. Can we do that? Or I'll just abstain from all of them.
Would you rather?
I'll just abstain.
Okay. Take a vote. Next we'll have the report of board members. I asked a couple of board members to speak of some of the committees that have been on, things that's been going on.
Thank you,
Anybody
President.
else as well?
Thank you, President Burton. I'd like to report on the policy committee. Our committee is currently looking at our OSS numbers and percentages. We're working with staff who's been, Dr. Shelton, who's been very agreeable and very helpful in providing us data. As a board, we're looking at how that data is actually impacting our students individually. We're looking at student handbooks, we're looking at the policies on discipline, we're looking at what other districts are doing in regards to discipline, and we're looking forward to an August 31st meeting to discuss it further.
Okay, I'll share a little bit. I was able to meet with Dr. Huff, Curriculum and Instruction in his cabinet, and to discuss some of the interventions that we have for our students, as well as some of our resources and programs, and looking at teachers and their collaboration with their curriculum hub on how they're prioritizing standards as well as standards-based grading. So we'll be having some more meetings about that, and I'll be looking more into those curricular resources. I was able to meet with Dr. Shelton and his entire team, and looking at financially what we're prioritizing and how we're going to continue to build on those resources, as well as meeting with Dr. DeVilbiss. And one of our goals is with retention and recruitment, looking at ways of expanding that, and looking at our teachers being more representative of our cross-section of students, our diverse students. So those are a couple of notes.
Anyone else? All right. Next, we'll move to the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me welcome Ms. Johnson-Berry to the board on our first full meeting, so welcome.
Thank you.
Look forward to serving with you. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. All right, quickly, legislative update. We know the veto session's coming up in September. There are only about 4 or 5 things that Governor Parsons vetoed out of the prior session. Medicaid funding will probably be discussed as it is in court currently. There will be on appeal. Some things they may start talking about on that side of the veto session that really doesn't have anything with the veto session, and that is critical race theory being taught in Missouri schools. So we expect there will be Plenty of bills probably filed, pre-filed in the coming months for the next session, but that's something that will probably take up some of the veto session discussion. 6.2, summer school report. Dr. Huff, anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. I'll answer any questions, though.
Any questions on summer report, summer school?
Okay, 6.3, our grant writer update. You do have a report in front of you. Do you want to add anything to that, Dr. Sheldon?
Nothing more to add.
Okay, I know we're out there for a couple more grants, primarily in school trauma areas and social workers as we continue to work through that. What we discussed during the last meeting, we have been able to secure well over $1 million in grants with our grant writers, so we're pretty pleased with that. On to 6.4 bond update. I know Mr. Husted is going to give an update to the board, and we have pictures along with that. Several projects occurring this summer and are all coming to a quick close. I'm sure he's about to tell us.
They are.
Come on, you want to come on up to the, do we have a mic we can give him? So podium up here. I know he wants to come up there.
That's exactly what I do.
You have to actually turn the mic on too, Mr. Husted, at the bottom.
Thank you. As you can see, all of our building projects are coming to a close. We have a couple that are going through. I'll just let Rachel open there, whoever's opening it. You're going to see a couple different things. You'll see our, the first report we'll go through and talk about status of everything, and have some pictures of what we've accomplished already and what we're coming to a close with. All our projects will close on time and under budget, which you'll be able to see those things in the attachments as well once we get those over.
Mr. Husted, if you want to just talk, I'll get us there.
Okay, perfect. At South High, the picture that we're going to talk about, but you'll see several different documents once we eventually get that up there. One of the things the board asked for was change orders, what we approved, what we denied, what the reason for those things were. That's provided tonight, as well as pictures. You'll see pictures of the video boards, scoreboards. They're in both gyms. Those are up, functioning. We had trainings with staff from both buildings last week on those, so they know how to actually operate them. They'll be great to see with our basketball and volleyball games. There we go. There's the scoreboards I'm speaking about. Obviously, the bottom one's South High. The top one, or excuse me, the top one's South High. The bottom one's Raytown High. Keep on scrolling. That's the painting that we did in South High. We also did an audio video upgrade with new speakers, new sound system in there as well. This is band and choir. We went through, totally redid those rooms. You can see the acoustical clouds in the ceilings, new lighting, new graphics, and new AV as well. That's South High Library. Obviously, there's a lot of shelves in there and books. We've got all that going on. The librarian's there now. We're kind of getting that put back together. Big carpet paint and some graphics in there. Next is the high school locker rooms. We went through and did replaced lockers, redid the floors, base, paint, and some epoxy. Fleet Ridge. We did some graphics on the walls. In the gym, and then also at the front, and then also went through and did new carpet, new circulation desk, and gave that whole thing a facelift. That's it if they want to click on. Change order summaries for you guys. This project, we're not all the way done with pay-ups. We still have a couple pay-ups left to come in. Right now, we're $177,000 under budget. I expect that project to come in very close to that still. We'll have a few things come in, but I would expect that number, budget number to stay right around there. Any questions about that one? You can go to the next one. This is our 2021 building upgrades. It goes through, you'll see the $151,000 that we came to you guys with because the city of Kansas City managed to do concrete approaches. Once we laid that out, with the city of Raytown Middle, we did not have to use all that money. The approaches where they want us to put them would be in the middle of the road. So once we called and worked that out with them, we did not use that. The others were just minor things that we changed as we went along. So that project also came in around $177,000 under budget. I do expect that number to stay right around there as well. Like I said, we still have another pay app left to go through on finals, so there may be a little bit of variance, but I do not foresee anything strong in there.
When you say under budget, you mean, are you including contingency when you say that?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, so there was contingency used.
Absolutely, we'll use contingency on almost every project.
Yeah, but it's, okay, so,
Yeah.
over the estimate, under the budget.
Correct, as we move things along. Then our next, that may be it. That just goes through the overall cost breakdown of each building, where the estimated cost was, where the bid day was, our contingency, and then where we came in at. So, any specific questions, any documents that we showed you this evening?
I think that's it.
Look great.
All right, well, if you have questions, you know how to get hold of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. 6.5, back to school update. As you know now, we're going to tag team this on a few items here. Dr. Huff and Dr. Sheldon are going to chime in, but we'll start by talking about the two things that we have currently before us, and that is Kansas City, Missouri, and Jackson County have reinstituted their indoor mask orders. And there's more to it than just that. There's items in there that say if if you're exposed to the virus and you have been vaccinated, then you do not have to be quarantined. If you are within 6 feet for 10 minutes, you still may not have to quarantine. It's very convoluted what it is, but what it is there has to be masks on while we're indoors, like we're doing obviously right now. We do have a pretty big event coming up with the staff that we do every year prior to the start of school, and that's Convocation, and it is scheduled, I think, for the, let's see, the 19th Thursday. I just know it's on Thursday. Thursday before school starts. Convocation at Graceway. That's a lot of people in a small area. We have kind of fallen on the side of continue to go ahead and have Convocation with masks, but I'll make it optional for staff to be there, and we'll either record it or try to figure out a way to live stream it, but still have the event, unless the school board is telling us, no, we don't want to do that. But that's where we're at right now. In years past, it's been somewhat semi-optional, but as many of you that are on this board and many of the people that are out there in the crowd have been to prior convocations, it's a big deal in our district. It has been for 14 years. This will be my 14th one that we have it. So we're going to make it as safe as we possibly can, and again, give staff the option to not attend if they don't feel comfortable, but we will be masked while we're in there. Okay. To go on further into the orders, there's nothing as far as capacity limits are required in school buildings, as long as you're wearing masks. Nothing for extracurricular activities inside school buildings, gyms like there were last year. If you remember at this time, we were at 100, I think, and there's nothing like that now, as long as we're wearing masks. Outside, masks are obviously optional, and there's no capacity limits. So I do have a suburban conference executive committee meeting this week to discuss those things, but with the other districts that are in our suburban conference in the high schools. And it's a much different set of circumstances that we're in now as we were in last year. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Huff, maybe to answer any questions or give us some feedback, and also Dr. Sheldon.
Question, real quick.
Yeah.
When you said exposure, do you mean, so is that masked or unmasked? Can you get exposure by wearing a mask?
The quarantine, the difference, don't quote me exactly, because the contact tracing is going to be done partly by our nurses, along with Jackson County or potentially Kansas City, Missouri. As far as, if you're fully vaccinated, okay, if you're fully vaccinated, if I were fully vaccinated and we weren't wearing masks and you had COVID and exposed me, as long as I'm not showing symptoms, I don't have to quarantine until that happens. Okay, if someone is exposed and they can prove that they do not have COVID or they have had COVID, is the way I'm reading it, and again, it's, like I said, it's very convoluted, their quarantine is much less. So we're leaving that up to the health experts to.
Probably the main difference too from last time these orders came out is and this is only for kids and adults are separated here. 2 kids that are masked, if one of them has COVID and there is close contact, if you are masked the entire time, you don't have to quarantine. So that's a new addition. And then also, as Dr. Markley had said, if you can show documentation that you have either the antibodies or that you've had COVID, and I can't remember what the time is, 3 months, 6 months prior, then you also can be treated as though you were vaccinated. So there are some caveats in there for us.
Wearing of the mask will cut down quarantine.
I know in the spring we had vaccination clinics for the high school when that was approved. Is there any plan to have something similar for our elementary when and if that?
Oh yeah,
approval comes?
we have a very good relationship with the Jackson County Health Department. We meet with them once a week. And yeah, we are very open to that. And when they have clinics, we let them know that we are very willing to host them.
And I suspect, as we did with the staff in the spring, we partnered with Truman Medical Centers. Well, that'll probably be the same partnership when the vaccine becomes available for kids 12 and younger.
Do they have a timeline or anything that you guys have heard?
They've talked about it that it's coming fairly soon, but obviously they're not the FDA or they're not the governing body, but they are optimistic.
Any questions? Back to school nights are planned. Meet the teacher nights are planned. We're moving forward with those things, which is the caveat of wearing masks.
Raytown High scheduled pickup is tonight and tomorrow.
Yes.
In case a parent forgets like I did.
I do have a question about just the modes of learning instruction. So I'm seeing that the majority of our students are going to be learning in person, just traditionally. With our elementary teachers, or with the number of students who are signed up to be virtual learners, are they teaching synchronously with those, so that they're having both in-person and virtual?
Yeah, so if on the first page of the attached documents of the agenda item, there is a list of what we're going to be doing by grade level. And so for the elementary, because things are a little bit easier with elementary, you have one teacher that basically for all day long. We have hired a virtual teacher for the specials for art, music, PE. We have dedicated virtual learning teachers for them. And then we will have a dedicated virtual learning teacher for first grade, kindergarten, first, second, third grade. We'll have 2 for 4th grade and then 1 for 5th grade. And yes, it will be just like we had last year, entirely synchronous instruction. Obviously, there's going to be elements of asynchronous in there, but this teacher will be interacting as they would with their regular class with the students that are at home. So for secondary, though, it will be entirely asynchronous because, as you know, you're very familiar with what a high school schedule looks like. It's rather complicated. We do not have enough students. We need to have about 30% of our student body to be virtual for us to go to that model we had last year. We're looking more like 8%, so not nearly enough to do that. And so we have made our parents very well aware that we'll be doing stride learning, which was fuel ed, and it will be the students working through the classes on the computer asynchronously.
All right, thank you for that.
Any questions on the elementary schools parent handbook? Dr. Moore can answer any question you might have. So that's out there. Had a chance to review that. And last but not least, our 6.7, our PTA Unit Council, I'd like to introduce Ms. Brandy Burke, sitting in the background. She is our PTA Council President for this school year, but also elementary admin intern at Northfleet Elementary. And will call me anytime that Josh Markley is sent to the office, correct?
Or Bryson, right?
Bryson doesn't get sent to the office.
I'll come over and take care of it. So Brandy, you want to say a few words and introduce the
Sure.
folks?
Yeah, there you go.
You bet, come on up.
It's a pleasure to meet everyone. I've seen you through faces and met a lot of you. So I am the president of the Raytown PTA Council. It's my first year. I'm super excited to be engaged with parents, the board, working together with communities. We have a lot of fun events planned again this year, STEM in the Gym being the biggest one, which is always a big hit for people. I do have one other board member here with me, Melissa McKivergan. She's in the back. She's our treasurer. She cohorts or kind of tag teams with Justine Dickey, who is unfortunately unavailable to come. Our first vice president is Roger Larson. Second vice president is Karen Coyle. And then our secretary is Amy McClung. So you will get familiar with those people as we go throughout the year, but they're very excited. We have a lot of fun things, like I said, planned for this year, and look forward to you all joining us and being a part of that. If you have any questions or need anything from us, feel free to reach out, whatever you need. So, any questions from you guys?
Brandy, do you know what schools are each of your officers?
Melissa comes from Spring Valley. Amy comes from Northfleet, so does Roger Larson. And Karen comes from, do you remember what?
I think it's Fleet Ridge.
I think it's Fleet Ridge too.
Thank you.
So we try to have a good number, and a lot of those PTAs have a lot of teachers and community parents that come in and help out as well. So, any other questions? Well, like I said, I look forward to the school year. So let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
Yeah.
This year will be ever so more important for our PTAs to be involved. You know, there's PTA royalty. I'm looking at Mary Oiler in the back. I'm sure she's still available for any type of volunteering and anything that her advice should probably give, right, Mary? So.
Advice.
Thank you.
Martha, that is an action.
Oh, that is next time, yes.
All right, we need a motion.
Mr. President, I move to accept the calendar of PTA Unit Council calendar of events as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right. All right, now we do presentations and recognitions. Danielle.
All right, good evening. For Did You Know, we have the Transportation Department recently received the School Bus Maintenance Award. The Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education provides the Exemplary School Bus Maintenance Award to school districts and school bus contractors who have 90% or more of their school buses pass the Missouri Highway Patrol inspection that's held each spring on the first inspection. The award recognizes the programs with bus fleets who have met the set inspection criteria in 5-year increments. So very, very awesome for our transportation department.
Dr. Mixon, I don't mean to interrupt, but can we give them a round of applause?
Absolutely. Also, on Did You Know, Jackson County's vaccination clinics, we have set ones in the district that we have shared on our district website and through social media. Any Jackson County student can attend those, but we're lucky to have select locations here for those immunizations that are required to attend school. And then for those who can't make it to one that's within the district, they can also attend those clinics in other school districts prior to the start of the school year. With me tonight, I have Vicki Turnbow from the Raytown Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. Did I miss one? No, the Raytown Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. She's going to give more information about the Festival of the Trails, which is a special community celebration for Missouri's bicentennial and the 200th anniversary of the Santa Fe Trail.
Thank you, Danielle. Good evening. My name is Vicki Turnbow, and as Danielle said, I'm president of the Raytown Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. Since September of last year, there has been a large group of organizations meeting to set an event in place for Saturday, September 11th. And I think she may have passed out the brochure and a flyer for you all, and I've got some that are going to be out in the vestibule as you leave. But there will be events all day long, beginning at 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. at various locations along the Santa Fe Trail. You'll be able to have breakfast, stop and have a car show, Raytown Historical Society Museum, Rice Tremonti, Cave Spring. We'll end the evening with a live event from 5 to 8. Crane Brewing will have some food trucks and adult beverages down there. And then, of course, the chamber will be open if you should need information or want to buy a commemorative t-shirt. We've been working very hard. Thank you to the school district, Danielle, for her participation in all of this. Like I said, on the back of the brochure is all the organizations and churches and nonprofits that have been working on it. Blacksmiths, it'll be a good history learning experience for the whole city. And if you have questions, I can answer those for you. We do have a Facebook page. It's the @ and it's Festival of the Trails, where you can look for Raytown's Festival of the Trails as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
All right, and last, as a part of Did You Know, we have a video. It's from Mary Frances Wagner. She is a graduate, a Raytown Hall of Fame inductee from the class of 2005, and a former teacher. She was recently named the Missouri Poet Laureate and will serve from 2021 to 2023. And so we connected with Mary Frances and asked her if she would do just a reading of 2 poems for us today, and hope to connect with her throughout the year, maybe in an in-person or in a connection with students manner as well. But we wanted to share that with you guys today.
Hello, I'm Mary Frances Wagner, and I am serving as Missouri's 6th Poet Laureate for the 2021 to 2023 years. This first poem is about my father. I almost always at a reading read a poem about my father because he was my great hero in life. And this poem is called Hands. Of 1,000 hands, I'd know my father's. Long fingers shaped like oars, the index scar, the flat grooved nails, hands that fixed the doll's arm, mended Whisker's ear, checked homework. Those hands grated Romano over Sunday pasta, curled around a glass of wine he toasted with at dinner, or offered the sweetest mulberries, the ripest figs from his trees. Once he kept a parsley caterpillar so I could watch it emerge from its cocoon. The jar was too small though, the wings dried with a crease. It walked the long ramp of my father's hand, off balance at takeoff. It fanned and fanned, but the crease would not unfold. The wings would not lift. My father set it in the grass, and we watched it walk the short runway of its life, a tiny lopsided glider without wind. My father's hands, like long anchors, dangled at his sides. And then I'll finish with this one. This is called All the Time Running. And this came as a result of hitting a coyote. And I have a strong link to nature. And so it really upset me after this happened. All the time running. Even when you see it coming, leave tread prints behind, you'll wonder about this moment. This curve at dusk, the dog chasing a coyote across a field, the coyote losing ground each time he checks his pursuer, all the time running toward the road, toward the woods on the other side, all of us thinking we have enough time. Then brakes yield that rubbery smell of trying. In that instant, the coyote sees you. His eyes hold all he knows. When you stand on the shoulder, you'll see the pool form, the eyes glaze over, the body heat shimmer into air. How fast light subtracts itself.
So yes, we're very appreciative to Mary Frances for taking the time to do that. And like I said, we hope to be able to connect with her throughout the rest of the school year as well. My last presentation that I have, unfortunately, our legacy grant presentation, those recipients were unable to make it tonight, so we're going to try and move that presentation to the September 13th meeting. But I have with me Martha Cockrell, and some representatives from the Educational Foundation for a special Pillars of the Foundation recognition.
Thank you. Miss Shelley, will you come up here and represent your
They've
firm?
seen enough of me tonight.
I think I know all of you, but I'm Martha Cockrell, and I serve as the Executive Director for the Raytown Educational Foundation. With me too, not only do we have PTA royalty, you know, we've got Mary Euler rep royalty as well. And she's joined, she has served as past president with her, Mary, if you will wave, yeah, like that, yeah, the beauty queen wave, yeah. And Renee is Landers, per T, sorry, almost forgot that, however many year marriage, is our current president. And then Vicki Turnbow is also one of our board members. So, and Marlene. Yeah, so we are well represented tonight. Oh, who did I miss? Oh, who?
Oh, Terry, oh, I thought you were...
Oh, duh. You know, the father of Renee.
There you go.
There we go. Better known to you as the father of Renee, yes, Mr. Landers. It is my pleasure to recognize Wynn Mundorf for their faithful and generous support of the foundation through our Pillars of the Foundation sponsorships. Shelley's firm was in our inaugural year and has been, like I said, faithful and generous for every year. Tonight I want to pay a little special attention to the fact that, yeah, let's make her nervous, I love it. To the fact that last year, when, because of COVID, we had to go to a virtual breakfast, it was like, oh, what is this going to look like? Everybody's going to be sitting in front of a bowl of cereal, or what is this going to look like? And there were a few of us that had this crazy idea about doing chefs. And Dr. Markley was one of those crazy people who said yes. And Shelley, literally the minute we kindly came up with that notion, I sent her an email, and we're looking for these celebrities and people we know, and I mean within 10 minutes it was, we're in. And if you saw the video, or you can go to our YouTube channel and see it, you'll see that Ryan Fry and Shelley are trying to help Jessica understand the concept of folding when you cook. Because, you know, Jessica was like, paperclip, folding, whatever. So to commemorate that, we have a little collage here of photos from that famous event that you can put in the break room.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so thank you again for your continued
Thank you for this.
That's so cute. Oh, here, okay. Tell us what to do now. All right.
So how did the cooking contest go?
Well, you know, that's very interesting, Mr. Burton, because we did have an online poll, and our audience could vote for their favorite chef, and you are sitting next to the person who won, favorite chef, yeah.
Oh, that's right, I remember that.
Yeah. I know, so many awards, so much fame, yes. So he got a lovely spatula as a gift.
Could you vote more than once?
I'm not sure how that happens, yeah.
Moving on.
I did not, this is not Dominion, I did not vet the voting process.
All right, next we have a public comment period. We have Marie Tracy, if you would come forward. We have 5 minutes, will be allotted.
Oh, I want to go on.
Good evening. My name is Marie Tracy. I'm the president of Raytown NEA, which represents over 200 employees in this district. And we just wanted to briefly tell you that we support the district making informed decisions following guidance from the local health authorities. We want students in school safely. Thank you for listening to the public health experts. We are all looking forward to the school year. Thank you for all you do. That's all.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the Raytown Education Foundation report. Jerry?
Thank you, Mr. President. The year-end report from the Education Foundation. In supporting enhancing our schools, the foundation is proud to have contributed a total of $101,139 to programs and services to Raytown Quality Schools students and staff during the 2021 school year. Scholarships were $79,837. The class of 2021 seniors and renewables for tuition year 2021-22 was $65,761. Professional development was $3,500. High school dual credit was $10,576. Youth sports was $0 because that was suspended last year because of COVID. Student recognition was $3,672. Grants was $17,630. Teaching and learning was $7,978 of that. Major saver building was $4,043. Cash for classrooms was $1,495, and special projects was $4,114. The foundation welcomed 3 new members as Board of Trustees. Patrick Hankins. Patrick is a Raytown South graduate who attended the University of Missouri in Columbia and is in the construction business. Pat remains connected to Raytown through fellow alumni and high school wrestling. Amy Douglas Pine. Amy is a Raytown South graduate. She is a learning and development specialist at the Kansas City Zoo. She and her husband, also a Raytown South High graduate, live in Raytown. Latoya Taylor Solomon, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
is a Raytown High graduate. She currently serves as a parent educator at Raytown College School Parent as Teachers Program. She and her husband, also a Raytown High graduate, live in Raytown, and their children attend Raytown Quality Schools. Mark your calendar for Saturday, October the 9th. The Run for Excellence is scheduled for that day, and they plan on being back in person. And if you were to open this, there's an invitation on the bottom, but you can't see it from here. But, anyway, more of that information will be coming out, and you can buy your t-shirts and enter. And they do have a virtual run for us non-runners. Again, that's it, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Landers? Now we'll move to unfinished business, and I'll speak to the board goals. You guys individually received an email from me in regards to the board goals. It wasn't much to change. What I did was I put together all the information that I asked from you guys, and I thank you for commenting on those. And the next thing I did was I looked across the state, several districts, and look up goals and mission statements and values and things like that, just to compare what we were doing and what we were saying. Just I think the last time I worked with Beth on putting the goals, we just kind of kept it internal and didn't really look outside. But what I did was I didn't write down. I did a comprehensive list. I just wrote down everything that we had mentioned and what other districts had mentioned. I looked up the rankings of different school districts and looked at some of the things that they have implemented in response to their goals. What you'll have here, what I compiled is, instead of writing a statement myself, I just made a list of the things that were mentioned in mission statements, along with what we have. And so my hope is that as a board by next month, I will send this out. I will write something, get you guys to comment on it, or you can do the same. Nothing, extensive, long, but in the vision, same thing. I think the mission statement should be more about internally as far as us as a district, what our mission is, and the vision would encompass our community as a whole. That's what I've noticed from other districts as well. As far as goals, there was four areas that was common. Most of our goals were also, we were in that same ballpark, but continuous growth towards mastery and improvement for every student, high quality staff, parent community involvement, and financial responsibility. What you'll know, there's quite a few bullet points under each. I think we should narrow that down to 4, maybe, and consolidating some of those. And so what I hope to accomplish with that is that, with these 4 pillars, which is what a lot of school districts call them, the 4 pillars will help us to focus and how we operate as a board, and the policies that we review and the policies that we set and the decisions that we make, and also in helping us to guide the administration even better than before. I'm not in any way saying that our goals were, our goals would pretty much stay the same all the time because our mission is clear. But I thought that this would be a good way to start by getting us. I'm a relatively new board member myself, and we have 2 new board members here now. I think it would help us to work together and to make sure that we do what's best for our students, families, the community as a whole. So what I'm hoping is by next month, from you all's input on the board, that we'll have a document here that we all can read and discuss and decide how we adopt those goals or not.
Okay then, Mr. President, this is written up as a move to accept, but would we want to then move to table till next?
That's not my intent for us to accept this tonight.
So I would move to table this till next week or next month, and
Yes.
I'll do that.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded.
Call motion, just
Comment?
say aye or just say yes or no.
Oh,
Yeah, because you don't know the thing yet.
Ms. Plain?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Landis?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, motion passes. We'll table this to next month.
Did I vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops.
That's all right.
He gave me a warning. All right, next we have, unfinished business, the adoption of the new policies that we both had the readings on before. Motion, we need a motion for policies.
Mr. President, I move that the board adopt policies ACAE transgender students, AH use of tobacco and vaping products, BCB board officers, DJF purchasing, DK payment process, IGCD virtual courses, IGCDA-MOCAP virtual courses, and JGR1 student discipline.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any question or comments?
Yes, Mr. President. So, who's chair of the policy committee right now?
It is, Bobby is chair. And these
Oh, it doesn't really matter. Was there any comments from
No,
the policy committee?
it's Donna. Donna's chair.
Was there any?
These
These were read.
done prior to, I think, Donna.
Yeah, I think I came to part of the meeting even though I'm not in the committee. So everybody, the entire committee was in agreement on all these and everything? There's no...
Yeah, Donna, you were in that meeting. Were you in that meeting?
I went in that meeting.
Okay, these.
No, there weren't, but this is the third,
This is the second reading.
Second reading.
this is the second reading of these. We had
Right.
these last month, but
They've
the
been
meeting was,
They've been approved
Right.
by
yeah,
the
the
committee.
policy committee. I was
The
in that
committee
meeting.
met and
Yeah.
agreed to everything.
Did you,
Steve and Marlene and I were both at that, all three at that meeting.
we can go back, we can go over it. Any questions on any one of these?
I just wanted to see what the committee done.
Hey, Alonzo,
Yes.
were we not to receive a decision made from administration on policy, the transgender student policy? I think we had a choice between two versions.
We did have a choice between two versions, and the policy committee chose the version that's presented.
Okay, help me out then, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any more questions? Let's vote. Motion passes. Next, we have the strategic planning, facilitation, vendor selection. We did talk earlier, we go ahead and share your recommendation.
Tonight, we were going to select the vendor. We have 7 vendors, and those vendors were given to the board, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And it's quite a bit of documentation and information. And I talked with Mr. Burton, President, today, and there's some questions from board members, maybe some potential a little bit more time, and could we push this to September to make that selection, which might even go well with the student demographic data that we're going to have, and the study that's being done, and possibly even some more of the Let's Talk. So we can notify the vendors tomorrow that we are pushing the selection to the next month, if that's okay with the board, we'll bring it up.
Did you guys have a recommendation though?
I've got a couple of recommendations and can speak to that, but at the same time, I think it'd be good for the board to go through that, because this is a year-long process. And the community's going to be involved in this process, so we need to make sure we get it right, who we select. So, I'll give
Yeah,
my
but
recommendations.
the rubric gave them all the same score. The only difference was the prices.
Yeah, they're basically the same thing, but it's from the phone calls that we make. That's my rubric, that may not be necessarily the board member's rubric. So I suggest you go back through that rubric. If you have questions, call me, but let's take a little bit more time. It's no different than the market study that we took a couple extra months to go through that to make sure we had the right person, because there's so much information to read for these people. We'll bring that back in September.
All right.
Get a motion, new motion. Someone can make.
Mr. President, I motion to move strategic planning facilitation vendor selection to the September board meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and second.
You can just say all in favor.
Need a roll call vote.
Oh, roll
You
call,
don't need
I'm
to-
sorry.
You don't need to do a roll call, just say
Yeah.
all in favor.
Beth,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Natalie.
Yes.
Oh, Bobby.
Yes.
Motion carries, motion passes. All right, new business, employee leave for quarantine. And we need a motion for this.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve up to 10 days of leave for any staff member who is quarantined due to COVID-19 and has been fully vaccinated.
Second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Vote.
Any questions?
Well,
Marlene,
yeah,
you
you
wanna
guys
speak to it a
can
little
tell us
bit?
how this came about.
Go ahead, Marlene.
So,
Marlene's gonna, come on up to the podium, Marlene, so we can hear.
So what this would allow is for employees that have been vaccinated, but who are sent home in quarantine anyway, either because they've been exposed to COVID. So that would give them 10, up to 10 free days where they were paid. Okay, in the past, before the vaccination, everyone got this with Family's First Coronavirus Response Act, but there is no such thing right now. So Dr. Markley did some research and found that this was an option, that if people are getting sent home and they've been quarantined, we would allow them to still have the 10 days of
If they've been vaccinated.
leave.
We don't expect this to be a large amount of things, but it possibly could happen. So we're just protecting our employees that their time, at no fault of their own, they're being quarantined.
But why are they being quarantined? Because we just saw the other guidance that said if they've been vaccinated, they don't need to be quarantined.
Well, we don't know if that's necessarily could be the case. They could be quarantined.
Well, so what was the origin of this?
Origin of what?
This motion?
Origin of this motion is to give these employees 10 extra days in case they are quarantined due to the health department requiring them to be quarantined, even though if you read in that ordinance, it doesn't necessarily pertain to all adults. So we're unsure what's going to happen. We're just trying to protect our folks that may have to use days that they shouldn't have to use.
For instance, if they happen to have symptoms, then the health department would require them to be quarantined. Or if they're a breakthrough case, there are breakthrough cases. So there are cases where they could potentially be quarantined because of an exposure.
If they have a runny nose or a cough or two of those, they're going to be quarantined, even though they don't have COVID. They're going to be sent home until they can have a COVID test done and it be confirmed.
So did Shelley, did you look at
We
this?
vetted this through, yes.
And what?
Jessica did. I think.
She did. We went through Jessica.
so Dr. Markley, this is only for people that have been vaccinated, so
That's right.
has the policy changed for people that haven't been vaccinated but get COVID?
Well, the policy's changed at the federal level for the people that have not been vaccinated. They're for everybody,
For
basically.
everyone. There is no federal guidelines anymore for requirement, I should say, no federal requirement that we give them paid leave. So if they have not been vaccinated and they get COVID, they will use their own sick days.
They
Much
use
like,
their own time.
yes, and much like the state of Missouri is trying to encourage people to be vaccinated through lotteries, things of that nature. Hopefully we can get more of our, but we think about 70+% of our staff has been vaccinated. So I think we're in a good place. This is just another little security blanket for those folks.
This is paid, correct? Paid time.
That's
Right.
correct. That's correct.
And is it only, it's only 10 days throughout the year?
Right. Let's say 10 extra sick days, but
Yes.
hopefully that if I'm vaccinated, okay, and I'm exposed and I start, let's say I get a fever, okay, and they've got to run a COVID test, okay, and by the time that gets done, and the county's going to have to do that, you're not going to be able to do a rapid COVID test. It's going to have to be done by the county. That may be 2 days till we get that back. That's 2 sick
About 2
days that I've
days.
got to use of mine, of no fault of my own. So,
What are you gonna do for, Shelley, for the ones who say they, for health reasons, can't get the vaccination and they get it and then they see that we've passed this?
My
No, what-
My understanding is what was said at the law conference just the other day, that we will have to have an exemption for that, with documentation, is that correct?
I want to make sure I'm following you. For those who don't get the vaccine because of an exemption?
Mm-hmm.
Any more comment or question? Can we vote now? Motion passes. Next, we have the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the August 9th, 2021 consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Motion passes. Now we can move for adjournment.
Natalie, do you want to try?
I will try this correctly this time. I move that the board adjourn the regular Board of Education meeting at 7:44 p.m.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for coming.